Archangel Michael says, on October 4th, only 5 minutes left. Jesus just spoke your name in heaven. Open it immediately to know what this was about. October 4th is not just a day on your calendar. It is a heavenly timestamp etched into eternity before your first breath was taken, before the stars were hung, before your voice crying out the first time in the earth realm. This day was appointed. A scroll sealed in fire, marked with your name, was set aside for this very hour. And now, the time has come. Heaven is moving. Time is collapsing. And you, yes, you, are being summoned into divine awareness. The gates are trembling with anticipation, and you are not here by accident. Only 5 minutes remain. Not 5 hours. Not 5 days. 5 minutes. This message is bound to a narrow divine window, and once it closes, it cannot be reopened. The trumpet has already been sounded in the realm of angels. Archangel Michael has stepped forward, sword drawn, wings burning with divine urgency, and he holds in his hand an encrypted decree, sealed with the mark of the Lamb. That seal has just been broken, and this message now reaches your ears. But not all can hear. Not all are meant to. Because Jesus just spoke your name, yes, your name, in the courts of heaven, not another's, not someone more famous, more righteous, or more known. Your name was spoken with fire, with purpose, with power. This is not a casual message. This is not for scrolling and forgetting. This is not entertainment. This is an announcement from the throne room. It will pass over many. It will bypass the distracted. It will ignore the arrogant. But you who have found this word and felt your spirit pause, you have been chosen to open what many will never see. Heaven is searching the earth for the listening ones, the surrendered ones, the still ones. The message cannot be read in noise. It cannot be understood in rush. Silence is required. Stillness is the doorway. Obedience is the key. You are being summoned because heaven is moving now. The spirit realm is shifting like tectonic plates under your very life, and something is reaching for you with intensity. There is no more delay. There is no more pretending. He has called your name. Will you answer? Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. The heavens are trembling, the atmosphere thick with expectancy. I, Michael, stand before you not as a whisper but as a herald, my sword unsheathed, the blade glistening with the light of eternity. In this moment, as you read these words, a ripple moves across the unseen world. Can you feel it? The air you breathe right now is not ordinary. It is heavy with divine intent. It carries a message that cannot be delayed. The command has gone forth from the throne room of the Most High. The Son of God himself has spoken your name. His voice echoed like thunder across heaven, and at that sound, I was sent. This is why you are reading this now, because the time has come. October 4th is not merely a date, it is a door. And it is opening even as you read these words. The handle is turning, the hinges creak with fire. This door leads into a realm where decisions are made, destinies are shaped, and names are called. In the next 5 minutes, something in the unseen is about to shift for you. This is not symbolic language. This is the reality of heaven's timetable. In the time it takes to read these words aloud, The first stones of your next season are being laid in the spirit realm. You are standing on holy ground. I call now upon the Spirit of the living God to bear witness to this moment. Spirit of truth, move through these words and pierce the heart of the one reading. Make this not mere text but revelation. Let the scales fall from their eyes. Let their spirit recognize its name being called. Let their ears tingle with the echo of heaven. Let their heart leap in recognition of destiny. For this is not a broadcast to the masses. This is a whisper of eternity to the chosen. Do you feel the urgency? Do you sense the narrowing of the hourglass? Heaven is leaning in. The angels are assembled. The Lamb stands at the center of the throne, and his eyes are on you. Yes, you. He just spoke your name. He spoke it because the moment of unveiling has come. He spoke it because what was hidden is about to be revealed. He spoke it because there is a war over your destiny, and heaven is moving to intervene. Not everyone is invited into this moment. This is a rare and selective hour. Many are distracted by noise, but you have been set apart by stillness. Many scroll past, but your spirit stopped here for a reason. That reason is heaven's summoning. What you do in this moment will shape what unfolds. Your response is not a small thing, it is a key. Will you pause? Will you listen? Will you open the door that October 4th is swinging wide before you? For 5 minutes, heaven waits for your yes. As my sword glows with the light of his name, I stand between you and the forces that have tried to confuse you. I lift the edge of the veil so that you may glimpse the invisible war around you. But know this, Jesus has already spoken your name in victory. The Lion of Judah has already roared. The enemy trembles, but heaven rejoices. This is your summons. This is your moment. This is the door. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There is a reason your spirit has been restless. The reason your nights have felt longer, your days slightly heavier. In the unseen realm, movements have been taking place beyond the reach of your natural eyes. I, Michael, tell you this: you have been watched, observed, whispered about. The enemy has circled like a predator, yet he does not fully understand the power resting upon you. They have gathered intelligence on your life, but it is incomplete. They know something about you, but not all. Because the deepest truths of who you are and what you carry have been hidden, sealed, and protected in the vault of heaven until now. That seal is breaking even as you read this, and what was concealed is about to emerge. This is why your heart has been uneasy. This is why your dreams have been charged with symbols and strange sensations. Your spirit already knows something is shifting, even before your mind has caught up. You have been marked, not only by heaven for elevation but also by hell for interference. That is why the attacks, the confusion, the delays, the betrayals. That is why relationships have strained, doors have closed, and plans have been sabotaged. Not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to darkness. You are a weapon being forged. You are a vessel being refined. You are a carrier of light, and hell has noticed. The whispers around you are not mere coincidences. There have been meetings in the shadows concerning you. Plots have been conceived, but they are built on faulty intelligence. The enemy does not know the full measure of the anointing being released over your life. He only senses it, like a predator smelling fire, but cannot control it. That is why confusion rises when you step forward. That is why the warfare intensifies the moment you approach breakthrough. But listen, the same Jesus who spoke your name in heaven has also set a perimeter of fire around your destiny. He has summoned me to stand at that perimeter now. This is not to frighten you. It is to awaken you. You are not ordinary. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are on heaven's radar, and heaven does not miss fare. This is the moment for self-reflection. Ask yourself, why has my spirit been restless? Why have the attacks felt coordinated? Why do I sense something large looming just beyond my reach? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are the tremors before a divine earthquake. They are evidence that the spirit realm is shifting, and you are at the epicenter of that shift. You have been marked for both attack and elevation, but what the enemy intended for harm will be the very proof of your calling. This is not punishment. This is evidence of your promotion. October 4th is not only a door, it is a line in the sand. In the next moments, decisions will be made in the unseen that will tilt the balance in your favor. The traps laid will snap shut on their own architects. The watchers will be confounded. The whispers will turn into silence. The chains will break. But your role now is not to panic, but to perceive. Not to fight by focus. Not to fear, but to rise. This message is your signal. You have been seen, named, and summoned. Heaven knows your name. Hell fears your name. And Jesus himself has called it aloud in the courts of angels. Type I am protected in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 1414 is now active over you. And now, beloved, as you stand at the threshold of this divine moment, hear this invitation. This channel is not simply a platform. It is a trumpet of heaven, releasing words that awaken, protect, and align souls with their destiny. When you sow into this mission, whether through super thanks, membership, or by planting a seed through the PayPal link in the video description, you are not just supporting content, you are fueling a movement of light in a darkened world. Every gift becomes oil in the lamp, fire on the altar, manna for souls who are starving for truth. I feel prompted to speak this personally. Your act of giving today will ripple as a prophetic response, unlocking doors for others even as heaven opens doors for you. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine summons to partner with what God is doing through this voice. As you release your seed, may you receive harvest upon harvest, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Step into this moment and act. I, Michael, stand before you now to draw back the curtain of the unseen, to reveal why you have felt the weight of resistance pressing against your life. The conflict you face is not random. It is not accidental. It is not simply bad luck or poor timing. It is strategic because you are strategic. It is because you are Dorian. It is intensified because your destiny has intensified. You are under a spiritual test, not to crush you but to confirm you. This is the mystery of being chosen. The heavier the mantle, the fiercer the opposition. The greater the calling, the greater the testing ground. And you, the one who has felt like everything is shifting beneath your feet, are walking through this very proving ground right now. Hear me. You are under attack because you are chosen. Not because you are forgotten. Not because you are weak. Not because you are insignificant. You are under attack because your name has been spoken in heaven, because the Lamb of God has released a word over your life, and that word has stirred both heaven and hell. That is why certain doors shut as you approached. That is why certain relationships fractured when you drew near to breakthrough. That is why confusion swirled the moment you stepped into obedience. It is not because you misheard God. It is because you obeyed Him. October 4th is a divine marker, a heavenly timestamp, a line across which your life begins to move from one level to another. The war you feel in your atmosphere is the clash of two realms over your destiny. It is heaven's confirmation of your hidden assignment. When Jesus spoke your name, He was not only calling you, He was covering you. He was not only summoning you, He was sealing you. You are not a victim wandering through random storms. You are a chosen one walking through a divinely orchestrated corridor of testing and preparation. This is your wilderness before your promised land. This is your Gethsemane before your resurrection morning. Even now, as you read these words, the angels of God are positioned. Their swords are unsheathed. A perimeter is secured. Yet the Father allows certain tensions to remain, not to harm you, but to hone you. Like gold refined in the fire, you are being purified for a level of authority you have never walked in before. Like David pursued by Saul, like Joseph betrayed by his brothers, like Esther hidden in the palace, your hidden destiny has drawn out opposition. But that same opposition is proof of your significance. The darkness does not waste resources on the irrelevant. The enemy does not target the inconsequential. You are a threat because you are carrying something that will shake the earth. And here is your assurance. Heaven's eyes are upon you now. The courts of angels are not indifferent to your struggle. The Son of God has not only spoken your name, He has inscribed it upon His hands. He has whispered it to the Father. He has surrounded you with fire. He has marked you with blood. What you are walking through is not abandonment, but alignment. You are being aligned with the very prophecy spoken over your life before you entered this world. And every arrow aimed at you will become a testimony of the shield that guarded you. So take heart. Lift your head. This conflict is not your end. It is your evidence. This resistance is not your defeat. It is your confirmation. Heaven is not late. It is right on time. The name spoken over you in the courts of angels is your guarantee that you are seen, sealed, and sent. Type "I am guarded" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1777 is now active over you. Hear me clearly now. What I, Michael, speak to you in this moment carries weight beyond imagination. A shift has already begun, and it will continue unfolding with or without your awareness. The countdown that began when Jesus spoke your name is still ticking, and now only moments remain. October 4th is not just symbolic. It is spiritual architecture, a living date where a gate swings open and the timelines of heaven and earth briefly align. In that alignment, certain things that have been hidden will be exposed. Certain things that have been delayed will be released. And yes, certain things that have been plotted against you are being intercepted even now. Do not be deceived. Plans have been made against you. Human hands may not have signed them, but spirits of sabotage have. The adversary believed you would remain blind to the plot. He believed you would be too weary, too distracted, too delayed to recognize the trap. But Jesus has spoken your name aloud in heaven's court, and by that declaration, the plot has already begun to unravel. What was prepared to entangle you has already started turning on its designers. The weapons were forged, but their targets are now reversed. The assignment was real, but the authority behind it has been revoked. You may not yet see the full picture, but here is your prophetic insight. Within the next 72 hours, the atmosphere around your life will begin to shift in small but undeniable ways. The people who once seemed loud in your life will grow quiet. The confusion that once surrounded decisions will begin to lose its grip. The pressure that has been invisible but persistent will begin to crack. These signs are not random. They are confirmations that something behind the veil had been broken open. I must warn you, not all traps are physical. Some are relational. Some are emotional. Some are designed as distractions, beautifully packaged but spiritually poisoned. Be vigilant. Not everything that looks like a blessing is sent from the throne. Not every opportunity is a door. Some are cleverly disguised cages. But you are not navigating this terrain alone. I have been assigned to walk with you, to war on your behalf, and to whisper when silence is required. The pressure you feel is not an ending. It is labor. It is the tension before birthing. It is the contraction before delivery. Yes, the intensity will increase before the release. And that is why I was sent, to tell you that you must not misinterpret the shaking. When things begin to stir, when emotions spike, when unexpected conflict arises or unexpected silence falls, it is not the sign of collapse. It is the sign of realignment. You are not being broken. You are being set into divine order. But be alert. Not everything that happens next will make sense to your mind. That is why you must stay in the spirit. The natural will tremble, but the spiritual will triumph. I declare this now. The next 3 days hold decisions not just in your life, but in the heavens concerning your destiny. Align yourself. Stay low in your spirit and high in your faith. Do not speak prematurely. Do not move hastily. Every word, every step, every choice is being watched. Not in fear, but in favor. Heaven has leaned in. The throne has spoken. And now, earth will begin to echo. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are at the edge of a divine turning point. The adversary knows it. Heaven knows it. And now, so do you. Type I am alert in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1818 has now entered your atmosphere. Be still now. Yes, still your racing thoughts. Still your anxious breath. Still the whirlwind of voices around you. Because in the midst of the spiritual firestorm that surrounds you, heaven has whispered one word to your spirit: withdraw. Not as an act of fear, but as an act of war. Not as defeat, but as divine positioning. What is ahead of you cannot be walked into with noise, confusion, or the weight of unnecessary conversations. What hath been activated over your life since Jesus spoke your name requires silence as strategy, stillness as weapon, and obedience as armor. The war in the spirit realm has intensified because your name was spoken in heaven, and the mention of your name ignited angelic activity. You don't need to fight with your hands when heaven has already drawn its sword. I, Michael, have been dispatched, and I say to you now, do not speak where God is telling you to be silent. Do not move when the command has not yet come. This moment is not about your performance. It is about your posture. When heaven moves, it moves through the quieted heart, through the soul that listens more than it argues, through the one who leans in when the world shouts for action. You may feel surrounded, but you are not unguarded. The Lion of Judah stands behind you. The fire of God has encircled your home, your purpose, your future. And still, he says, "Be still and know that I am God." It is not poetry. It is divine instruction. It is spiritual protocol. You win not by striving but by surrender. Not by rushing but by remaining. The enemy wants you loud, reactive and reckless, but the Spirit is training you to be quiet, steady, and clear. This is your hour of consecration. If you withdraw now, even if just for a few hours or days, you will hear what others miss. You will see what others overlook. There are keys falling from heaven right now, and only the silent will catch them. There are scrolls being unsealed, and only the still ones will be allowed to read them. Your silence will open what striving cannot. Your obedience will guard what panic will destroy. I say this clearly. Your silence is your shield. Guard it. Protect it. Hold it sacred. This is not a time for everyone's opinion. This is not a time to explain yourself. This is not a time to be accessible to confusion. Withdraw. Turn your phone down. Let the notifications pass. Heaven has called a private meeting over your life, and the guest list is extremely limited. You have been invited, but your entrance requires stillness. Speak only when God gives you words. Move only when He releases the timing. This is not passive waiting. This is active spiritual discipline. While the world rushes and reacts, you will wait and watch. And in that posture, you will see the hand of God. You will witness the reversal. You will feel the shift. Let this be your declaration in this hour. I will be still because God is moving. Let that be your war cry. Let that be your posture. When others panic, you will praise. When others stir, you will stay. Because those who rest under the shadow of the Almighty cannot be touched by what walks in darkness. Your stillness is creating a barrier no demon can cross, no lie can pierce, and no plot can penetrate. You are not retreating. You are rising in silence. And soon, all of heaven will testify that your silence summoned victory. Type "I am still" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1919 is surrounding your home. You are not who they think you are anymore. You are not who they last saw. You are not the version of yourself shaped by rejection, delay, or betrayal. That version was temporary, necessary only for the fire. But that version has expired. What they knew of you is no longer relevant. What they assumed about you is no longer accurate. Because something inside you is no longer asleep. You have crossed a threshold in the spirit. You have outgrown the warfare that used to paralyze you. You have risen beyond the words that used to bind you. This is not arrogance. This is awareness. Heaven has recalibrated your identity, and the shift is irreversible. The enemy wanted to keep you locked in a cycle of self-doubt. He hoped you would define yourself by your wounds, by the delay, by the struggle. But God was building something beneath the surface the entire time. In the silence, He was forging steel into your spine. In the rejection, He was teaching you who you are without applause. In the hidden place, He was revealing your real name, the one not written on your driver's license, but the one carved into your destiny. The name Jesus just spoke in heaven was not the name others used in gossip, fear, or limitation. It was the name assigned to you from before time: warrior, priest, builder, breaker, deliverer, restorer. I, Michael, testify of this truth. The realm of darkness no longer recognizes you. They knew the weak Virian, the timid Virian, the Virian that doubted their own authority. But they are now dealing with someone reborn through fire. Your very presence in the spirit realm has changed. You do not walk as a victim anymore. You do not beg for acceptance anymore. You do not need permission to carry glory. You are clothed in fire now. You are walking under the wings of angels now. You are marked, not by pain, but by purpose. This is the season where heaven calls you into empowerment, not pity, into dominion, not delay, into prophecy, not passivity. Yes, you have endured much, but what you've endured was never meant to define you. It was meant to train you. It was meant to strip the false and strengthen the eternal. Your tears were not wasted. Your isolation was not punishment. Your delay was not denial. It was preparation for ascension. And now, the Spirit declares, rise in power. There is no more room for shrinking back. You were not born for survival, you were born for dominion. You were not saved just to make it, you were sealed to lead others out. What have been deposited in you cannot remain dormant. The fire inside of you must be released. The wings of Michael, the breath of God, and the voice of the Son are calling you into activation. Rise not because it's easy, but because you are ready. Rise, not because you feel like it, but because your name was just spoken in heaven. There is oil dripping from the places you were broken. There is light pouring from the cracks that were once shame. There is resurrection power flowing through every scar that once bled. You are the proof that darkness could not win. You are the evidence that delay could not destroy. You are the vessel that was hidden for such a time as this, and the time is now. Shake the dust off. Raise your head. The earth is not worthy of what you carry, and yet it has been entrusted to you. You will walk with the strength of lions and the humility of the lamb. You will speak, and atmospheres will shift. You will pray, and chains will break. You will move, and the heavens will respond. You are not becoming powerful. You already are. And now, it is time for the earth to see it. Type "I am rising" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2020 is now being activated within you. Let your spirit receive this now. What I, Michael, am about to reveal to you is not speculation. It is not interpretation. It is divine record. It is sealed truth, now being unsealed for those who have ears to hear and hearts to receive. When Jesus spoke your name in the courts of heaven, he was not simply calling out to remind heaven who you are. He was activating a prophetic release that had been held in the archives of eternity, waiting, watching, and perfectly timed for this precise moment. Heaven did not whisper. Heaven did not murmur. It was not quiet, nor casual. The moment Jesus uttered your name, a decree was issued in the Spirit. Angels leaned in. Scrolls were retrieved. Trumpets were stilled. And your name was declared over an open court in the throne room. This was no ordinary moment. It was a divine unlocking, a supernatural release, a shift in heaven's economy concerning your life. The name you've carried in silence, the name you've protected through storms, ridicule, and delay, was declared before all of heaven as a signal that your season of obscurity has ended. This is why you've been feeling the tension. Because promotion always presses through pressure. This is why your atmosphere has shifted. Because your spirit is stepping into a new seat of spiritual authority. This is why the warfare has intensified. Because the enemy caught a whisper of what God just confirmed in full volume. But here is the truth you must hold with holy fire. Jesus did not just speak your name to heaven. He spoke it to the enemy as well. He reminded hell that your name is not to be touched without consequence. He reminded every lying voice, every demon of delay, every spirit of sabotage that you are sealed, summoned, and protected. Do you understand what that means? It means you are not merely surviving this season, you are being promoted through it. This is your turning point. This is not hype. This is not emotional fluff. This is prophetic reality. Heaven is upgrading your authority, your influence, your clarity, and your spiritual inheritance. New realms of wisdom are being released to you. Hidden favor is being unearthed. Delayed blessings are being expedited. Doors you could not knock on are now swinging open. What was hard to access will now flow with ease, not because you strived, but because you were spoken for. The voice of Jesus carries weight that no demon can resist. When he speaks your name, angels are dispatched. When he calls you forth, destiny realigns. When he mentions you, heaven's resources respond immediately. There is no delay in divine protocol. And now, what he has spoken has already begun echoing through time, catching up to your today, shaking the foundation of your tomorrow, and rewriting the limits that once bound you. And yes, your name is now recorded and remembered in a new way. There are books in heaven, and your obedience has just authored a new chapter. The ink of your faithfulness, your waiting, your surrender, your tears, it has stained the pages with prophetic significance. What comes next is not luck. It is legacy. What unfolds next is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Confirmation that you have been chosen to carry glory, to break generational patterns, to ignite revival in dry places, to walk in rooms the enemy tried to keep locked. You are not stepping into something, you are becoming something. And all of heaven knows it. Type "I receive heaven's decree" in the comments if this word speaks to you. Blessing code 1212 is surrounding your name right now. And beloved, if your spirit has been stirred, if you've sensed heaven speaking through these words, I invite you to stand with this message, not just in belief, but in action. This isn't about helping a channel. This is about partnering with a prophetic mission to awaken and deliver souls around the world. When you sow into this ministry, through super thanks, becoming a member, or planting a seed through PayPal using the link in the description, you are not donating, you are releasing prophetic agreement into the earth. You are fueling the trumpet that calls people out of darkness. You are lighting fires in nations you may never step foot in. The word of God says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," and that word is alive right now. I feel a strong urgency to declare, your seed today will break something in the realm of delay and release something new over your household. Respond as one called, not as one curious. Release what's in your hand and watch heaven release what's in his. The time for passive agreement is over. The hour for silent belief has passed. You have heard the call. You have felt the stirring. You have sensed the trembling in your spirit. And now, heaven waits for your yes. This is the moment of activation. This is not a motivational suggestion. This is not an inspirational push. This is a divine summons. The same Jesus who spoke your name in the courts of heaven is now watching your response in the realm of earth. Your obedience is the switch. Your agreement is the ignition. Heaven will not force you, but heaven will wait for you, and the time to rise is now. What you just heard was not a message to make you feel better. It was an announcement to move you forward. Every delay, every denial, every moment of silence was preparation for this divine intersection. October 4th was marked on heaven's calendar as the day when prophetic clarity would collide with divine invitation. The heavens have opened their side. Now it is your turn to step through. Because faith without motion is fantasy, and revelation without response is robbery. What has been revealed to you in this hour is weighty, holy, and pregnant with purpose. You cannot afford to stay seated in doubt. You cannot afford to postpone your agreement. The realm of the Spirit is moving, and it is moving now. I, Michael, declare this over your life. Your yes is the key. It does not have to be loud. It does not have to be perfect. But it must be real. It must be full. It must come from the deepest place of surrender. For heaven does not respond to the noise of emotion. It responds to the clarity of agreement. Your voice is needed now, not to complain, not to question, but to declare. Open your mouth and speak life over your assignment. Say yes to what you cannot yet see. Say yes to what you do not yet understand. Say yes even when fear demands you say nothing. Because in that yes, the atmosphere around you will begin to submit. Demonic resistance will begin to fold. Angelic support will increase. Resources will begin to locate you. Why? Because the language of destiny is obedience, and obedience unlocks the supernatural. It is not enough to be called. Many are called. It is not enough to be gifted. Many are gifted. What distinguishes the chosen is not talent, but response. What marks the rising remnant is not perfection, but posture. Will you posture yourself for the weight of what is coming? Will you adjust your pace to match the speed of heaven's shift? Will you lay down the distractions that have pulled your attention in 1,000 directions and say, Lord, I'm ready. Not ready because you've figured it all out, but ready because you finally surrendered the need to. There are things waiting on the other side of your obedience. Doors that will not open until you walk. Miracles that will not manifest until you declare. Relationships that will not align until you let go. Territory that will not be occupied until you show up. Heaven is not waiting for you to be perfect. It is waiting for you to be present. Present in faith. Present in obedience. Present in divine alignment. Your destiny is not some distant dream. It is already active, already moving, already pulling you forward. And your response in this very moment will determine what meets you in the days ahead. Declare this now, not with hesitation, but with holy fire. I say yes to my calling. I say yes to my purpose. I say yes to what heaven has prepared for me. Speak it. Wait it. Shout it. Heaven has spoken your name. Now respond with your yes. Type ISAYYES in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3030 is now in motion for your assignment. Even while you slept, something was shifting. Even when you couldn't see it, heaven was at work. You may have felt forgotten, but you were never unseen. You may have assumed your cries vanished into the night. But the truth is, every tear was caught, every sigh was recorded, and every silent prayer has been processed in the courts of heaven. I, Michael, speak now to unveil what has been hidden. A divine exchange has already been initiated in your name. While the world dismissed you, while your soul wrestled in quiet agony, heaven began negotiating on your behalf. There are things being returned to you that you didn't even know were stolen. Pieces of your identity that life tried to fragment. Opportunities swallowed by delay. Joy buried under years of disappointment. These were not random losses. They were targeted extractions, calculated thefts orchestrated by spirits who feared what you carried. And yet, what they took was never permanently lost. It was held in waiting, preserved in the chambers of the Almighty. And now, at this appointed hour, the hour marked on October 4th, the hour when Jesus spoke your name, those pieces are being returned. Not all battles happen loudly. Some of the most critical victories are won in silence. In the unseen realm, angels have been dispatched, documents reviewed, and verdicts issued. Every lie spoken against you was presented, but so was your endurance. Every accusation was laid bare, but so was your obedience. Every moment you chose to worship instead of weep was brought forth as testimony. And on that basis, not the perfection of your performance, but the purity of your perseverance, the scales have tipped in your favor. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange unrest in your soul. That quiet sense that something is moving, but you can't quite explain what it is. That's not your imagination. That's your spirit picking up on the transaction. Something is being transferred to your account in heaven. And though your natural mind may not yet comprehend it, your spirit already knows. Restoration is underway. What was once locked is now opening. What was once withheld is now being released. This is not future tense. This is present fulfillment. You must understand, your restlessness wasn't just emotional. It was prophetic agitation. It was your inner man responding to the pressure of promises getting ready to emerge. That feeling in your chest, that was the weight of inheritance pressing against the barriers of delay. And now those barriers are breaking. The walls are cracking. The seal is being lifted. The transfer is taking place, not in the hands of men, but in the courts of heaven. And what heaven releases, no man can block. This is the silent exchange, where sorrow becomes strategy, where pain becomes platform, where brokenness becomes birthing. You didn't lose anything. It was being collected. It was being counted. It was being set aside for a release you could not yet carry, but now you've been found ready. Ready to receive. Ready to reignite. Ready to reclaim. And so I declare over you now, nothing is lost. It is being returned. It is being restored. It is being revived. That silent cry you offered months ago, it unlocked movement in the spirit realm. That moment when you worshiped through your weariness, it opened a door no demon can close. You thought you were surviving, but in reality, you were being set up for a divine reversal that was only possible because of your unseen obedience. Hold your peace. The transaction is complete. The enemy cannot dispute what has already been signed in heaven's blood. Type "I claim what's mine" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 4040 is now restoring what was stolen. There is a roar rising in heaven. It is not the cry of war. but the sound of justice. I, Michael, have seen the scroll. I have stood before the throne where your case has been reviewed, not by angels, not by saints, but by the righteous judge himself. And I tell you now with fire in my voice, the verdict has been rendered. Heaven has ruled in your favor. What was done to you will not go unanswered. What was stolen from you will not remain in enemy hands. What was spoken over you in darkness will now be shattered by light. For too long you've questioned, will they get away with it? For too long you wondered, did God see what happened? Yes, He saw it. He watched when they lied. He listened when they mocked. He stood beside you when they left you bleeding. And not once did He forget. Not once did He ignore it. He held it, weighed it, measured it against your obedience. And now the cup of injustice is full, and it will be overturned. Those who plotted against you, what they prepared in secret is now being exposed. The hole they dug for your reputation, they will fall into themselves. The trap they baited with your name, their own schemes will consume them. Not because you sought revenge, not because you cursed them, but because you stayed in alignment with heaven, and heaven responds to righteousness with vengeance that is holy, perfect, and timed with precision. You are about to witness a divine reversal, not because you demanded it, but because God promised it. The weight of your suffering is about to be matched by the magnitude of your elevation. You will not rise quietly. This will not be a private restoration. No, this will be a public redemption. Those who saw you low will witness you lifted. Those who thought you were finished will have no choice but to admit, God did this. Your name will be cleared. Your integrity will shine. Your story will shift, not by your own doing, but by the command of the one who speaks, and it is done. And for those who cursed your name, may they repent quickly. For it is a fearful thing to war against someone God has chosen. Their words did not destroy you, but your silence in the storm became your sword. Every day you kept walking, every time you chose peace, every hour you kept your hands clean. You were building a case in heaven. And now the judge has ruled. The scales are being balanced. But this justice is not only about your enemies. This justice is also about what you were promised. Every delayed promise will now find its way to you. Every missed opportunity will circle back with acceleration. Every broken timeline will be healed with divine speed. The years the locusts devoured, heaven will repay. The seasons of stagnation, heaven will reverse. Even the things you forgot to pray for, heaven remembered. You're not just being restored. You're being vindicated. You're not just being repaired. You're being rewarded. The reversal has begun. Watch how the weight shifts. Watch how the narrative changes. Watch how heaven proves that nothing suffered in secret goes unnoticed by the God of justice. This is His decree, and it cannot be overturned. Type "the scales are shifting" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 5151 has now released divine justice in your favor. Now let your heart be still. Let your mind quiet. Let every restless part of your being surrender to this final truth. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. From the moment Jesus spoke your name in the heavenly courts, time itself began to bend in your direction. Everything you thought was forgotten has been held. Everything you feared was ruined has been redeemed. and everything that seemed too delayed has now been set into motion. This word wasn't just a revelation, it was a resurrection of purpose, a resurrection of identity, a resurrection of divine alignment. No longer will you walk beneath the weight of uncertainty. No longer will you shrink beneath the accusations of the past. No longer will you question if heaven knows your name, because now you've heard it for yourself. Jesus did not whisper your name in passing. He thundered it across eternity. You have crossed over. You have passed through the fire. You have survived the shaking. And now, you will stand. You will walk. You will speak. You will build. And you will carry the oil of heaven into the dry places around you. You are not just recovering. You are rising in a new rank. Angels walk with you. The Spirit surrounds you. And the blood speaks for you. The path has been cleared. The blessing has been activated. And the time is now. So rise, beloved of God. Rise in the power of your calling. Rise in the fire of your identity. Rise in the security of your protection. The same God who called you now carries you. And the same heaven that saw you broken now celebrates your rising. You have been sealed by the Spirit. You have been strengthened by the storm. You have been summoned by the sun. There is nothing left to fear, nothing left to prove. You are heaven's evidence in the earth. Type "I am sealed" and send in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 8888 is now completing the circle of your breakthrough. And now, beloved warrior, if this word resonated in your spirit, I invite you to do something sacred. Toe into this moment. This isn't about supporting a video. This is about releasing supernatural agreement into the atmosphere. When you give, whether through super thanks, channel membership, or the PayPal link in the video description, you're not just helping us reach others, you're unlocking deliverance for someone else. You're igniting fire in a soul who hasn't heard their name called yet. You're sowing into a field that produces eternal fruit. As you plant into this prophetic soil, I declare over you the word of the Lord. He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Your seed is not charity. It is a weapon, a door, a trumpet. Sow it now, not later. Let heaven mark this as your act of divine agreement. And as you give, may blessing code 8888 release multiplied restoration, multiplied access, and multiplied anointing over your life.